Officer Jonna Watson. I am the Public Information Officer for the Oakland Police Department. This evening we're going to be talking about the shooting that occurred today at the Oikos University, 7850 Edgewater. I'm going to introduce you to the Oakland Police Chief, Howard Jordan. He'll be followed by Mayor Jean Quan and Ann Taylor from Congresswoman Deborah Lee's office. We'd like to stay focused on the incident that occurred today. The Chief will be available after the press conference for any individual interviews or off-topic questions that you have. This is a sensitive situation. This is an unfortunate tragedy that happened in our city today. So if we could please stay on topic with the incident that occurred today, we would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Chief.
Good evening. Today's unprecedented tragedy was shocking and senseless. Our hearts and prayers go out to the victims, their families, and their friends. At 10:33 a.m. today, the Oakland Police Department received a 911 call from 7850 Edgewater Drive regarding a woman on the ground bleeding. Patrol units were dispatched at 10:34 a.m. Additional calls from the location were received both directly to the Oakland Police Department and to the California Highway Patrol. The first Oakland Police Patrol officer arrived at 10:36 a.m. and located a victim suffering from an apparent life-threatening gunshot wound amidst an extremely chaotic scene. Additional officers, including officers from local partnering law enforcement agencies, responded and established a perimeter around the location at 7850 Edgewater Drive. The suspect was initially believed to be still on the scene or inside. Potential victims remained inside the building, either trapped by a locked door, which officers were unable to open, or unable to evacuate due to injuries. Oakland police officers, joined by the Oakland Unified School District Police, entered to facilitate an emergency evacuation, search for render aid to possibly injured persons, as well as to search for any additional suspects on the scene. Approximately 35 persons are believed to have been in or near the building when this crime occurred. Officers extracted a total of 13 persons from the building, some of whom were gravely wounded. In all, a total of 10 victims were shot. 7 of these victims are confirmed fatalities. 5 were pronounced at the scene, and 2 victims later died after being transported to a local hospital. All the victims are reported to be adults. As officers, Oakland firefighters, and paramedics rendered aid, preliminary investigation led to the identity of the suspect, 43-year-old Juan L. Go, G-O-H is his last name. His description and our belief that he had fled the area most likely before the first officers arrived. Within an hour and a half, investigators were in possession of the suspect's photo and were en route to his home, as well as a separate residence of a relative. The suspect, who is believed to be an Oakland resident, surrendered to officers of the Alameda Police Department in their city. He was arrested and is currently in custody of the Oakland Police Department. I want to thank the men and women who assisted and responded to this scene for their heroic response and actions. Dispatchers, officers, firefighters, and all first responders did an incredibly great job and brave job in bringing this situation to a peaceful ending. Thank you all to the Oakland Unified School District Police, the Alameda County Sheriff's Office, the Police Department of the Hayward, San Leandro, Berkeley, University of California, Berkeley, and the Bay Area Rapid Transit Police Department. We requested assistance with supplementing our officers and in handling this scene. Their agencies immediately provided 19 officers to assist with this incident. Again, I want to offer my deepest condolences to the victims and their families. No words can express the gravity of these offenses and the pain caused by this incident. As additional information becomes available, we will share it. Pending notification of these families, and in order to ensure the investigation is not compromised, we will not immediately release the 911 calls, suspect photos, or names or identities of the victims. That information will be shared with you later on this week. And now I'd like to turn it over to Mayor Kwan for her statement.
No American mayor wants to have this situation. It seems over the last decade we've gotten used to seeing senseless mass killings like this, and we'll have to question availability of guns and the need for other services in our community. This has been a terrible tragedy. My office and my staff have spent most of the day making contacts with the Korean General Consul, with members of the Korean American community and other Asian American communities here in Oakland. The Korean community in particular has a long history in this city. The church, the Korean Methodist Church, on Hudson will probably have a memorial tomorrow. I want to thank Pastor Hyokin Kwan of the Korean Methodist Church and of Kyun Chun Kim, the president of the Northern California Korean Church Association, for reaching out today and helping to provide potential counselors and other grief counselors for the people who have been involved and for the community that's been traumatized. We want to thank the county, Dean Chambers, and our own police chaplain, Jason Landeza, and we have representatives here from the Greater Faith community. From OCO, we have Reverend Chambers and Pastor Hopkins, both here from the Oakland Community Organization, who've come here to show their support and have been long fighters against violence in our community. We are recruiting and we're looking for additional Korean-speaking crisis counselors. We want to thank the Asian Mental Health Services, Catholic Charities, and the county for stepping up with that. This is the kind of incident that hurts the whole community, and we know that there are at least 35 people in the school at the time. We know that the school has hundreds of students, and that it's the kind of pain and situation that we won't understand totally immediately, but that will leave the community asking questions for a long time. So on behalf of the City of Oakland, I particularly want to thank both the Oakland Fire Department and Police Department and the other agencies who responded very, very, very quickly. I know one of our officers was hurt breaking the windows to make sure that we could get in and rescue anyone else who might have been hurt inside the building. This is the kind of situation where we need to pull together and to support the Korean community in particular, where most of the victims appear to be from, and I just hope that we will put our arms around this group of people and these families and do our best to bring peace back to the city. Thank you.
I believe members from the Korean Church have just arrived. Are you here in the room?
The Oakland Police Department, we do.
You're welcome to come up here.
We do have a name now for the suspect, 43-year-old Juan Algo, an Oakland resident, and confirming again, 10 victims were shot, 7 of them dead, 5 people pronounced dead at the scene, 2 of them died later at the hospital. The mayor calling it a terrible tragedy, saying they are still looking for counselors. If we can, we're going to go back live to KRON